Well-made wood. Steady as... Pyrotechnics! Incoming! Hold the line! Let's move out. Let's move out. Hup. Don't blink! Nowhere to hide! Amp it up! Leave it all to me! Billowing surge! Happy to oblige. No stone. Speed of light. Allow me. Income.
Take that!
Steady as... Sword from shadow. Covenants of the deep. I'm getting sick of this. The white target. Leave it all to me.
Where do you think you're going?
Don't blink. Rest and reap. Ad Astra Abyssosk. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssosk.
It's called freelancing. All folks just don't get it.
You dare to gaze upon me?
Boba, get them! Come on, we can do it!
Behold! Know your place! Squall and Fury! Dodge this!
Time to clean up!
Oh, so sorry. Let's roll! Who wants some of this?
Ready, steady, go! Let the show begin.
Don't get frostbite. It's showtime! Let's roll!
Nice and spicy! Steady as Gears of the storm!
It hurts!
As a dutiful maid would.
Confess!
Eat this! Dare to mess with me?
Charge! It's nothing. Freeze!
I must leave no...
Cool it! Oh, so sorry.
Time to clean up.
Dodge this! Don't get frostbite.
Your life is mine.
As a dutiful maid would.
Everyone on me! Fall in! Follow my lead!
Submit!
This moment will be frozen in time. Charge! Rally!
Incinerate! Time for your arraignment! Motion to compel! Incinerate! Breath of the flame!
Lay waste to the wicked!
Time to go. Into the wind. Time to go. Fallen leaves. Adorn my...
Crumble! Order guide you.
The wind knows me.
Dawn, break forth! Solidify!
Wind Strider.
I will have order. Gather! Cascade, following order. New punching. Kamisato Arc. Suiyu!
Whirling snow! Hold the line! Take flight! Unerupt!
Mind the deluge.
Whirling snow!
Cascade!
Woohoo!
Sleeve!
My apologies! Allow me!
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud.
Flames! Purge!
Into the wind.
Stabilize! This is order! Lay waste to the wicked!
Fallen leaves. Adorn...
Quake! Solidify!
One with nature.
Cascade! Kamisato Arc. Suiyu!
Yeah! Yeah! Take flight! Embrace the ice! Pew-pew! Diana Special! Whirling snow! On a rock! My apologies!
Rise! Order guide you. Lay waste to the wicked! Quake! Gather!
Into the wind. Wind straddle.
Rise! Mind the deluge.
Yeah! Look at you! Take flight! Hold the line!
Cascade. Stabilize! Be still.
My opponent!
Cascade! Kamisato Arc. Suiyu!
Take flight! Yeah! Go and fly!
I will have order!
Whirling snap!
Gather!
Take flight!
Lay waste to the wicked!
On a rock! Billowing surge!
One with wind and cloud.
Dawn, break forth!
Sayonara special! Allow me! Torrent, bring refuge!
Cascade. Solidify.
My opponent! Sakura swirl!
Be still. The depths beckon.
Whirling snow!
Gather. Lay waste to the wicked.
Wind strike.
Rest and rebuild! Look at you!
Dawn, break forth.
I'm a rock!
Clouds high. Bird.
Covenant of the Deep!
Be still. Crumb. Order guide you. Stabilize. Cascade.
I'm getting sick of this game.
Mine today, patience.
Kamisato out! Sumetsu!
Unfortunate fault.
Take flight!
Rise.
Go as one! The insect shall be punished.
Lay waste to the wicked.
Yeah! Can't handle your dream! I'm a rock!
Wind strike. As one with wind and cloud.
Torrents, bring refuge! Oh, now you
Dawn, break forth!
The magic of power flows through me!
Huh!
As in business, you always have to seize the opportunity. While it's there.
Alright, I guess I'll go with my textual criticism and your editorial direction for the first draft. I have a feeling that the missing Kabuki Mono will end up being the main focus of this paper. Ugh, if only we knew where to find that traveler. From what they say about him, this seems like the kind of thing he'd know about.
Oh, you're the traveler, you say?
Hey, what's with that face? Don't believe us?
No, of course I believe you. Actually, I first heard about your great exploits when I was still in Inazuma. This is my first time coming face to face with you and your mysterious silver-haired companion. I couldn't believe my luck, and out of force of habit, I started, examining the evidence. Sorry.
Oh, Sawada, for the love of... Sorry, we don't get out much, so our social skills are kinda lacking. Traveler, I hear you've helped many people a great deal and been to many places. Would you be able to tell us about Tatarasuna?
Actually, we don't know much about that place either. In fact, we only came over here because we heard you talking about it and wanted to learn more.
I see. My teacher chose this area of research as a personal challenge. He said it's difficult to get into because even Inazumans don't know much about Tatarasuna's past. But who'd have thought that...
If you don't mind, I'd love to show you all my outline for the book I'm writing about Tatarasuna.
Hold on, Sawada. Don't you think that's a bit of a deep dive or a first read?
Well, fair point. In that case, please ease yourselves in gently by taking a look at Akaba's latest essay draft.
Let me give you some background. This all started with the discovery of some records in Tatarasuna. The writings mentioned someone by the name of Mikoshi Nagamasa, but in the end, he threw it into a fire to destroy it, and killed his servant Katsuragi. Why? Well, no one knows. Apart from the swordmaker, his servant, and the one who wrote this all down, the records also mention a Kabuki Mono. This seems to be an Inazuman word for an eccentric stranger.
That's right. Akaba's teacher has spent quite some time researching these events on the ground. This Kabuki Mono lived in Tatarasuna for a while before disappearing without a trace. And shortly afterwards, as Akaba mentioned, things got pretty ugly.
So first this strange person goes missing, then a murder happens?
Yes, my thoughts exactly. So I helped out too. I asked everyone I could think of if they knew anything about what happened.
Stop shouting!
This part's important. I just wanted to make it stand out. It just so happens that a friend of mine works at the Government Records Office. He looked into it for me, and I can now confirm that all the aforementioned individuals, even back then, Tatarasuna was already at the center of Inazuma's smelting industry. The man in charge was a government official named Niwa. Curiously enough, it seems like he went missing too.
Wait, so there are two missing people in this?
That's right! What's more, Niwa is a name with a lot of history to it. Have you ever heard of the great swordsmith clans of Inazuma?
Oh, the swordsmiths? Yeah, Like Ishin art and so on?
Wow, yes. You really know your stuff. That makes things easier. So basically, this Niwa was a distant relative of the Kaidahara clan, the last practitioners of Ishin art. Something then seems to have happened in the Kaidahara clan, leading to their downfall. I don't know the details, but taken in light of everything else going on around that time, it makes you wonder whether it's all connected somehow.
The Kaidahara clan?
Sawada, you left out the biggest detail of all.
Oh, yes, of course. How could I forget? Brace your minds, ladies and gents, for they are about to be blown. Or maybe you won't believe your ears. I wouldn't blame you, of course, because in all my years as a writer, this is by far the most.
Get to the point, for Pete's sake.
According to information acquired by Akaba's teacher, the Kabukimono was not a human, but a puppet.
A puppet?
Aha! Judging by the looks on your faces, you do know something after all.
No! Paimon just meant, how creepy. The way you...
I agree, it does. But considering that non-human races in Inazuma are by no means uncommon, spooky events are to be...
Oh, and please read my essay draft. Sawada was encouraging me to follow his more creative approach, but I think essays should be grounded in facts. I don't think explaining everything away with mysterious forces will cut it. Oh, how about if I plug the holes in Sawana's narrative with political intrigue? Like, I could put a turf war between rival factions at the center of the whole series of events.
Wait, you're allowed to just make stuff up? Pretty sure you've gone from essay to guessay there.
Akaba, look. Your teacher has researched this extensively. I've reached out to everyone I could think of. Whatever information we have now is all that there is to know. This is as much detail as you're ever going to get. Besides, if there really was a political power struggle going on at anything like the level you seem to be suggesting, what hope would we ever have of finding out the truth?
Good point. Okay, back to the drawing board, I guess. Give me some time. I need to find a new angle on this.
We have some other stuff to do, so we'll have to say goodbye for now. Good luck with your essay!
All right, thank you. If you find out any more info about all this, please do let me know. Thanks so much.
Hey, so that thing they were talking about, it has to do with the balladeer, doesn't it? Okay, then even if we did know something about it, we probably couldn't share it with them, huh? After all, we kicked his butt and got him locked up. Information about people like that is usually super confidential, isn't it? If you ask Paimon, Akaba should just pick a different topic. There must be as many essay topics as there are trees in the forest. Hey, did you see that? He literally just went by, over there. It looked like... No, it can't have been. He got locked up. Oh, quick, let's catch up and see.
Traveler, Paimon, there you are.
Nahida, bad news. We just saw the balladeer strolling around in public. Did he escape or... Ah! It's him!
Sure enough, you're here.
Hey! What are you doing in the sanctuary of Surasthana? Aren't you supposed to be locked up?
I know you must have a lot of questions. Please, allow me to explain. It was my idea to set the balladeer free. We made a deal, and he's gonna do some investigation in Irminsul for me.
A deal? Huh. You sure you trust this guy?
What did you expect? Why do you think Sumeru would keep me around otherwise? Or maybe killing me is all you can think about. But if that's the case, why haven't you done it already?
Don't flatter yourself. It was... Nahida said there's still some mysteries in you to figure out.
Ah, so if it were up to you, you'd finish the job? Guess I had you all wrong. There I was thinking you were just getting cold feet.
Well, that escalated quickly. Not a good start. Could I ask you all to please calm down?
But Paimon's worried about you, Nahida. Don't let him trick you.
It's not every day you see people questioning the God of Wisdom's judgment. Just when you think you've seen it all.
Don't you dare try to drive a wedge between us!
As long as the terms are reasonable, I don't think there's a problem in making a deal. Even with the balladeer.
Well, I for one have no reason to doubt you, considering you even struck a deal with the doctor.
Yes, one in which I gained valuable information. You'll come to understand more about that in the fullness of time. The balladeer's power was all but completely spent after your battle. He's no longer strong enough to be a strategic threat to us. That puts him in quite a precarious position. Plus, he's a former Harbinger with knowledge of many of the Fatui's sensitive secrets. Being stuck here in Sumeru could make him a sitting duck, depending on how the Fatui plan to respond.
Wait a second. Farmer? You mean he's not a Harbinger anymore?
I take no pleasure in saying this, but it seems as if the doctor had no intention of welcoming back a loser, so...
Sometimes it's you using them, other times it's them using you. Most human relationships are this way. Certainly all the stable ones are. That's how it was between me and the Fatui, and also between each of the Harbingers. So as long as you have some value to offer, nobody will ever abandon you. But after recent events, even I have to admit that I'm not worth quite what I used to be. Well, if the Fatui are gonna reevaluate my utility, I need to have a backup plan for myself.
As we discussed, I don't like causing harm to living beings, and you said you need protection. So, why not join forces with us?
I think these two have made their objection to that idea fairly clear, don't you? And they're your friends, so I guess you'll be siding with them.
Yeah, obviously! Nahida, don't listen to him!
Then let's put that discussion to the side for now. Today can be a trial run. Where we go from here will depend on how well we manage to cooperate today.
All right, Then I'll do what we agreed.
Good. Go now, and keep in touch.
Nahida, are you serious about this?
Yes. I have my reasons for this decision. In fact, I'm largely doing it for your benefit. Yes. As I told you once before, there's information about your twin in Irminsul.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's the whole reason we came to see you today. So, you have an update on that?
Mm-hmm. You may remember me mentioning that the Fatui had not included your twin's details in the Descender category. This is an extremely important point. It's possible that the Fatui have other information that even I don't know about. And since the Balladeer used to be one of them, he'll be better acquainted with this info. He was granted the power to connect with Irminsul when he almost became the god of a new era. Even though he no longer has the Gnosis, some traces of its power remain in him. He can still connect. The amount of information in Irminsul is vast beyond description. Sifting through all of it without knowing what to look for would take too long, even for me. So I asked the Balladeer to search in Irminsul for any information about the Descenders. He's more familiar with this kind of information, and should be able to find it more quickly.
Exactly! Or what if... Paimon just doesn't trust him! He's treated us as enemies every time we've run into him!
I understand. But sometimes, everything is dictated by which side you're on. How things will go in the future depends on what information he brings back. And Traveler, I know what your heart desires most of all. Our minds have connected several times before. There is a corner of your heart reserved for an intense longing. A feeling of being all alone in the dark, searching for the one candle whose light still burns. As Sumeru's deity, it is my responsibility to be on guard against the Balladeer. But as someone who counts you as a friend, I want to do something for you. If this deal with the Balladeer can give you the answers you've been longing to find, then it's worth it. It's my pleasure, really. You're Sumeru's hero. You've more than earned it.
Paimon's still worried about this idea. Is there anything we can do to help?
I was going to contact you about that, but then you suddenly showed up on your own accord. Seems like we have a telepathic connection. In fact, I was going to ask you to supervise the Balladeer on my behalf while he carries out the task I assigned. Even though he only has a fraction of his full power left, that's still a fraction of a former Harbinger. If you could accompany him, it would put my mind at ease. Of course, I'll be there to help guide you through Irminsul from the outside. Great, thank you. Prepare yourselves. I'm going to transport you into Irminsul.
Wow, it looks pretty different here compared to last time. The colors are gentler. Guess that must be because Sumeru's at peace now.
Look at that. Hot on my heels. You know, you didn't have to cut your catch-up short just to keep me company. Oh.
Shut your beak, jailbird! No way a prisoner gets to be so smug!
I understand that prisoners have to put up with harassment from the guards. But right now, I'm on temporary release. So maybe you should think about backing off a little.
Sounds like a successful rendezvous. I need to be quite clear about something. In a few moments, you'll be entering into the innermost region of Irminsul. It is unlike anywhere else. Irminsul's inner region consists exclusively of torrents of information. You must put aside your differences and be extremely careful as you navigate your way through. I know there are many grievances between you, on both sides, but it is essential that you remain calm after entry. This is as much for your own safety as anything else.
Fine. Let's call it truce. But only until this mission's over.
Let's cut each other a little slack, shall we? We are going to be traveling together after all. Per my agreement with Lesser Lord Kusanali, I'll be at the front. It's my job to lead the way and get rid of any obstacles in our path. All you have to do is keep your pretty eyes open and try not to fall behind.
You sure are confident. Paimon will give you that. You make it sound like you're even more experienced at adventure.
If there are no further objections, I suggest we get going. Or did you need some time to mentally prepare yourselves?
Ew! Ugh, the snark on this guy. It's unbearable.
We can start now.
Irminsul access granted. Initiating connection procedure.
Is this a small sapling? Oh, darn it! Come on, let's catch up with him. Wow. So this is the inside of Irminsul. Ooh. Paimon's never seen anything like this.
Irminsul is closely intertwined with the entirety of Teyvat. Every bit of information flowing here means something. Pick your jaws up off the floor. It's time to go.
Why is it that Paimon just wants to do the opposite of everything he said?
Lesser Lord Kusanali, we will now proceed to the heart of Irminsul.
Can you still sense where the heart of Irminsul is?
Yes. Permission to begin searching for information there?
Permission granted. Go ahead.
Let's go. Stay close. Don't go running off.
Hey, so say we did go running off in here. What are you smirking at?
I was just imagining the look on your travel companion's face if you went and got lost. Anything's possible in here. You can't rule anything out. So if you want to stay safe, your best option is to stick close to me.
These sapling things have spread out.
Those are all packets of information from inside Irminsul. Be careful not to touch them.
It looks the same in every direction. No wonder he mentioned about getting lost. Huh. What do you know? He was actually telling the truth. Is he mocking me again? What is it this time?
There's a time and a place to lie, but this definitely isn't it. So why don't you relax your guard a little? We're here.
What a huge tree!
Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Good, you made it. Are you ready?
Ready when you are.
Then please begin. Preparing to access cognitive currents.
The Balladeer's actually doing what Nahida tells him. Guess he must want to...
The rest is up to you. If you discover anything at all, make sure to share it with us.
Will do.
Huh. For once, we're the ones with nothing to do.
Traveler, Paimon, would you like to talk? Yes, I've also invited Paimon to join.
Huh? What the? We can talk to each other inside our heads?
That's part of it. Plus, we're all friends. There's nothing wrong with us talking like this once in a while.
Paimon's never tried this before. This is great! So, Paimon's been wanting to ask you something. Don't you think the Balladeer's a bit of a walking contradiction? He's always talking back, but he seems to listen to what you say.
As I've told you before, there are still some mysteries for him to resolve. Things that are clear as day to me, but that he has yet to understand. Perhaps today will be the day that he finds some answers. Well done. Smart and attentive as always. So, you made contact with that part of his mind. Well, it's true. Betrayal turned the Balladeer into the person he is today.
Huh. Paimon thought nothing could get under that guy's skin. Turns out, he can get hurt and angry just like anyone else.
Everyone has a history, Paimon. Even if you're a puppet created by the Electro Archon.
Speaking of puppets, we ran into two people at the Academia today talking about an essay. Turns out their topic was about the Tatarasuna incident.
If you mean the mysterious events, the Kabuki Mono and so on, yes.
Really? Because from what they were saying, it sounded like lots of Tatarasuna's history is still unexplained.
Oh? How interesting. Those two managed to deduce quite a lot through guesswork alone.
So the Gese got it right?
Well, they guessed right about one thing. Tatarasuna was sabotaged.
Must be a riveting conversation you three are having. Funny how all the good ones happen when I'm not involved.
What makes you think we're talking to each other?
Don't insult me. You're having a private conversation without me. Obviously, I must be the topic of said. Of course you do. You can't have your prisoner knowing too much.
So, have you found anything yet?
Still looking. Don't get your hopes up, though. You and your twin come from outside this world. It wouldn't surprise me if there was nothing on either of you.
Wait! How did you know about that? Didn't Nahida tell you?
It's not like we've never met before. And anyway, you're world famous. It'd be more surprising if I didn't know a few things about you. Right now, we have to keep the peace. I'm not interested in creating more misery for myself. And making cordial conversation is something I can manage. Huh? Wait.
This light. It looks similar to those
Anonymous data.
Hey, don't you forget the agreement! You have to share it with us!
Shh. Just wait.
Mr. Niwa, are you certain this is worth the risk? We are talking about Tatarasuna's furnace, after all. It may not pay to act rashly.
There's no one else who can enter the furnace. It has to be me.
Is that so? Well, since you insist.
It's...
Whoa!
I have been in Tatarasuna for some time now. You have shown me great hospitality, as has Mikoshi Nagamasa, and indeed, everyone else. Under your leadership, Tatarasuna is a warm, welcoming place. Like a giant village. People are gainfully employed. Their lives have purpose. They are motivated. As I understand, the Raiden Shogun has, in recent years, eliminated much of the evil that plagued Inazuma. The forging industry with crystal marrow as a raw material has since flourished, giving rise to generations of swordsmiths. Skills, blood, dreams. Every smith brought into this trade looks to find their purpose between steel and blade.
Yes, well, were it not for you coming to Inazuma and happening to make Akame's acquaintance, the two of you never would have joined forces. And he would be the first to admit that there's no way he could have revolutionized our forging. You allowed Akame to take all the credit for a method that you jointly developed. He sold it to me, and now every piece of ore here is smelted using the new technique. Even now, you remain one of Tatarasuna's key consultants, working right here alongside us. I believe it is you, sir.
You flatter me. From the outset, I saw much that was commendable in the forging industry of Inazuma.
So you say, Escher. But is this really the truth?
My good sir, what do you mean?
I tried to resist thinking it was all connected, because I didn't want to speculate. What have we gained from adopting your new technology? Ominous black smoke? Mounting production problems? Worker fatigue and casualties are up and continuing to rise at an alarming rate. And recently, as you well know, someone died because of that strange filth inside the furnace. None of the people who went out to get help have come back. Now, our mutual friend, the Kabuki Mono, is taking the Golden Feather to Narukami Island to seek an audience with Shogun. But that doesn't faze you, does it, Escher? Nothing does. Otherwise, why would you still be standing there with that smile on your face?
I'm just surprised that you finally chose to be so sincere. I'm sure you've been harboring these suspicions for quite some time.
Mikoshi Nagamasa may have noticed that there was one common denominator among all these events. Namely you, Escher. But Mr. Mikoshi is more cautious than I. He does things by the book.
After all, Nagamasa is the adopted son of Mikoshi Torachiyo, the yokai struck down by the Shogun's own hand. If he truly
You're well informed on the subtleties of his situation for a mechanic all the way from Fontaine. Are you sure you're not—
Why, Mr. Niwa, are you suggesting I find a job as a diplomat?
Enough, Escher. I'm here because an evil force is raging inside the furnace. And someone needs to take your new device inside the high-risk zone so we can absorb it and put an end to the problem. I'm in charge here. And I'm about to take some responsibility and head inside. Probably to my death. But what about you?
Judging from the look in your eyes, you don't seem to
Drop the act! We're past that now. Whoever you are, it looks like your plan to destroy Tatar— I just want to know what you're still doing here. What's left? Don't you have all your answers by now?
Honestly, I'm just waiting for the right moment. A moment like this, where you finish talking and I stop you from entering the furnace.
You...
You're a little smarter than I initially gave you credit for. I thought I'd disguised myself exceptionally well, at least for the first few days. But to my surprise, you had your people look into my background right from the It's a long journey from Inazuma to Fontaine, but that didn't stop them. Eventually, they managed to confirm that Escher was an— And yet, despite all of that, you still fail to realize my true identity, and what I seek in Tatarasuna.
Did you really think you would be able to see through my plan?
If you kill me, there's no one who can get inside the furnace.
Oh, but you're quite wrong. There is one other person. Some may not see him as a person, but you told him yourself. You're not a puppet. You're a human. You're just missing a heart.
Whoever you're working for won't get away with this. They'll be found out. But this makes no sense.
It's no trouble at all. Patience is a virtue which I have in abundance. This is all part of a carefully controlled If you must know, I'm happy to divulge my true identity. I'm a Fatui Harbinger. Call me the Doctor.
The Fatui? Who?
Just to create a minor inconvenience for your nation.
That's it? That's why you gave us your cursed
Look how even the righteous soul is filled with venom when my device functions precisely as you say. It is the only chance you have of preventing a catastrophe and keeping the truth from the outside. It is easier for a person to be possessed by evil spirits when they are filled with hate. So give in to your fury. I want to see what happens when a malevolent... Make no mistake, even without you, that pure, innocent puppet would only end up being used by someone else instead.
If you give him my heart, tell him that he has nothing to prove to anyone. Because not everyone...
What a beautiful way to see the world. It almost makes me feel a little guilty. Think of me as a monster or a demon, if you wish. At least this way your death is not a consequence of your own folly turning you into an easy target. You simply lost to something more powerful than you could ever hope to defeat. I say, Mr. Niwa, let's see what happens. Will your puppet friend become a human? No, that will prove quite impossible. Mr. Niwa? Already dead. What a pity. Jester, I have completed the task you gave me. Creating a gap and infiltrating Inazuma's inner workings. What fun it was. I'd like to introduce a puppet to you. If he proves useful, let's make him our newest comrade.
Hey, are you all right?
Dottore. Dottore! Good. Good.
Was that the doctor? Did he turn into a mechanic from... But why did we see things from his perspective?
When I touched the doctor to confirm whether he'd eliminated all his segments, I read this memory in his mind. You have to admit, it must be the truth.
Maybe so, but it means nothing.
Does it? But this memory shows that Niwa didn't betray you. He never meant for you to be the one to take the device into the furnace. You know very well what that means. Even...
Let's give him some space. He looks really mad.
We need to give him some time to process his emotions.
Paimon's still confused about the Tatarasuna incident. So, the doctor was behind it.
Nobody has ever deceived you like that, Paimon. It's natural that you find it difficult to understand. Perhaps he needed to learn this someday. So now you have the complete picture. Katsuragi took the Kabukimono to live with the people of Tatarasuna. Later, the doctor showed up. It was all a horrific experiment planned by the doctor. Everything he did was just to plant seeds of disaster in Inazuma. Of all the unwitting participants in the doctor's experiment, the balladeer became the main test. After the events you just saw in that memory, the doctor put Niwa's heart into the device and handed it to the balladeer. Then, he instructed him to enter the furnace and absorb all the filth caused by the smelting process. The load was far beyond what he expected, but the balladeer survived. He left the furnace in sheer exhaustion and said to the mechanic, "This device seems to have protected me." The mechanic answered, "Niwa fled this place for fear of punishment, but he left you a gift. He said it's the one thing that you've been looking for." The mechanic removed the withered heart from the device as he spoke. The balladeer was stunned that such unthinkable cruelty had brought him the thing he'd been longing for his entire life. A heart acquired through cold-blooded murder is a curse. He thought Niwa had completely betrayed him, and yet this very betrayal had ensured his survival. Overwhelmed with anger and sorrow, the balladeer threw the heart.
Holy moly. So the doctor killed an innocent man and pinned everything on the victim?
Yes. Only if he understands this can he choose a new path forward.
Dottore, you brazen-faced... Niwa didn't run from justice. You killed him.
Shall we see how he's doing? Hey, you alright? That's a scary expression.
Are you worried about me? If we didn't have such a history, I'd almost think that qualifies me to be your friend. It won't. I'll keep my end of the deal.
Hey, aren't you investigating the stuff we wanted?
That's why we're here. But unfortunately, there's no information about the Descenders in Irminsul.
Even if you can't find anything, that seems to confirm it. Irminsul does not keep records on the Descenders.
Oh, does that mean we have to leave empty-handed?
Don't thank me just yet. You look really upset. Well, since Irminsul was a dead end, I guess I can share some other info.
Huh? About what?
The reason why there are records about your sister in Irminsul. It might have something to do with Conria. Apparently, Conria was her first destination when she arrived in this world. Plus, she only came to this world because the heavens responded to the summoning.
The heavens respond?
The Jester told me this himself. You can take his word on this. He was a royal mage in Conria, and lived with your sister for a time. I don't know the details. It's up to you whether you want to believe me. All I can say is, I wouldn't lie to you about this. Did you get all that, Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Yes. Astonishing news.
Does this info count towards my mission? It wasn't from Irminsul, but was it valuable?
Very valuable.
Good. In that case, I'll take some time for myself now.
Huh? What have you done?
Lesser Lord Kusanali was right. My power's all but completely spent. Even if I use all of the divine power left in me, I shared a secret with you, and now you owe me. So in return, I'd like you to answer a question for me. Give me your hand. Can you hear my voice inside your head? No, I can't do anything like that anymore. At most, all I can do is exchange a few. So tell me, in this world, is it possible to change the past? Done.
Huh? What the? What happened?
Nothing. I was just thanking him for helping me. So long. I suggest you get yourselves out of here quickly.
Where are you going? Hey, wait up! Didn't you say not to go running off?
Fast reaction time. But I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. From this day forth, the names Balladeer and Kabukimono will cease to exist. Those who died in Tatarasuna because of me deserve another chance at life.
Hey, Balladeer! Don't do anything stupid!
You know, I never did like insects. Hordes of the puny things swarming together can be a real nuisance. But if a colony of harmless ants isn't threatening anyone, I guess they deserve to be left alone.
Balladeer! Balladeer! Uh-oh, he disappeared. Come on, we gotta... Oh no, he's really gone!
Oh, can you hear me?
Nihida!
Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer, what happened just now?
It was the Balladeer's fault.
I didn't think he'd be capable of something like that with so little. Did he keep some of his power hidden when he was defeated? Or did he achieve something beyond his ability?
Where the heck did he go? Ugh, it's all our fault.
Don't be. It's not your fault. Please, let me handle this from here, even though I'm not sure I can solve it. We're running out of time. Follow my lead and get...
I'm starting to wonder if it's some kind of hint.
Another recurring...
Yeah,
I wish my dreams could be a little more practical.
Are you feeling any better?
Yes. I think the Dendro Archon made a really good point. I need to... Now that I think about it, my wife and I always meet at... I know where that place exists in reality, but at the same time, I feel as if I should go. Otherwise, I'll keep on... Once I can stop dreaming about that place, I'll probably be able to get... Actually, you two are adventurers, right?
Yeah, it might also... Even if you can't see your wife there.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, go ahead and get yourself ready.
Are you headed...
Huh? Wait, aren't you supposed to be...
I just finished. And they really... Anyway, it looks like you're going somewhere. What?
Oh, there's no need to trouble you, great Dendro Archon. I am...
No need to stand on ceremony. I wanted to use this...
Huh.
I'm not... This is an emergency. I'll have to ask you to stay here for now. Everything's arranged, and nobody will disturb you. I'm sorry, but this isn't something
An emergency? How bad is it?
Don't worry. If my assessment is correct, though there may be some minor disturbances...
Her voice has gone. Paimon can't shake the feeling that something really big has happened. What do you think the Balladeer meant? And why did he suddenly grab onto you before? He wants to change the past? But... surely that's impossible! Right! You can't just rewrite history! All that stuff happened already! It's like... imagine Paimon drank all the water in this inn, even if no one was there to see it. So... why does Paimon still... Paimon's so confused! Huh? Ah! Sorry. Paimon accidentally... but... erasing yourself from history? It's unthinkable! Is that really possible in Irminsul? Uh-oh. Paimon's had... Ugh! Paimon's had it! There's no way he'll actually succeed, right? There's nothing we can do about it at this point. Hey, have you got any ideas on what we should do next? Seems like now there's nothing left for us to do but to go to sleep. But, so, how about... Alright, Paimon will start. First dish. Andrean chili chicken, almond tofu, also Adeptus Temptation, golden shrimp ball. Paimon was, talking? Huh. Paimon, Is that a food too? What's wrong? Your eyes are like saucers. Was it some... So, the balladeer is... Okay, sure. Where are we going? Huh? Fine by Paimon, but is everything okay?
Ah, it's been a while. Of course. Go ahead. Oh. Now there's a question I want. The once renowned Raiden Gokuden, comprised of 5 branches. Aminoma, Futsu, Ishin, Hyakume, and Senju. The art of forging practiced by these 5 clans, most of the great swordsmith clans of old, have since fallen into decline. But fortunately, Kaedehara Kazuha recently returned to Inazuma and took up the mantle of the Ishin art. Now, if my memory serves me right...
Oh, yeah, we were! We learned a bit about the decline of the Raiden Gokuden then, too. It seems like such a shame.
That, in fact, this was not made known to me for most of my life. All these years, I knew of those great clans' demise, but never... He told me that, as we are both heirs to a branch of... There is no harm in telling you, but I must warn... The Raiden Gokuden were the targets of a murderous...
Vengeful?
400 years ago, so I'm told, there was a catastrophic malfunction in Tatarasuna's furnace. One brave sword... Tatarasuna was home to a state-of-the-art forging and smelting operation in that day. And knowing that they had just one chance to save countless lives, the smith's death, though heroic, dealt a devastating blow to his family's fortunes. His orphan son was left to fend for himself, and grew up deeply resentful at the world. In his heart, the whole of Inazuma was culpable in his tragedy. He hated, powerless, and destitute. The only legacy he had to pass on to his children was his hate. Alas, if only the story could have ended there. But 100 years ago, finally, he made a drastic decision to take revenge on the Raiden Gokuden. In his fury, he murdered indiscriminately, killing even bladesmiths from the Hyakume clan, which he belonged to. But when he came to the Kaedehara and Kamisato clans, his killing spree came to an abrupt end. He failed to catch them on a... That is why the Kaedehara clan and their Ishin art survived that day.
Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Kazuha? Why, yes. Just yesterday. My pleasure.
Don't tell Paimon. There are other places you want to... On to the next stop!
Traveler! It's been a while. If you're looking for the Commissioner and Miss Kamisato, I'm afraid...
Are they out on business?
The Commissioner is out on business, and Miss Kamisato is standing in for some meetings in the commission.
What do you think? Shall we go in?
If it were anyone else, I couldn't allow it. But seeing as you're so close with the Commissioner and...
We'll be heading in then. Thanks!
Hello, dears. Is there something you want to say? Of course, traveler. What would you like to know? Oh, they're both very well indeed. Lately, Miss Kamisato has been rather busy. As for the Commissioner himself, well, you know, busy.
So pretty much...
Very much.
Well, got any more questions?
You're very welcome. Miss Kamisato talks about you all the time. I must say, many things whenever the Commissioner dines at home, Toma always joins. The Commissioner has such a busy schedule that he doesn't always have the chance to take his meals at home. They say it's because Toma's a much better chef than they get to talking about you sometimes too, you know. Always with a very... Miss Kamisato occasionally joins them as well. Whenever the whole... It's been many years now since the late Mr. and Mrs. As someone who is old and gray enough to have watched their son and daughter grow up, so in the future, if you ever do have the time, please know you are always very welcome at the Wonderful.
Paimon likes it here too! Oh, Paimon's itching to try it. We may just have to invite her.
Of course.
Alright, goodbye for now. We're, great. Goodbye, ma'am. Don't worry, we'll see you.
All right, then.
Oh, are you two leaving already?
Yep, everything's taken care of now.
Very well. Safe travels.
Well, here we are. But what are we...
Do my eyes deceive me, or is that the Traveler and Paimon?
Xavier, what are you doing here?
I was in the general area, and now I'm in this specific area.
We have some questions and thought you might be able to help.
Certainly do. I've researched the furnace here, and if there's anything you want to know, just ask away. Like the back of my hand. Not only that, but I've met people in Inazuma whose families used to live in Tatarasuna years ago. They said it's all... Oh, well, it's a long story, don't you know? I'm told that its history is one of the most foremost forging and smelting operations in the nation. Goes back around 1,000 years.
A couple? What?
One was just in the last few years, the other was several hundred years ago. A fun fact, I'm not the first Fontaine tech guy to come and work on it either. They say he was a mechanic who consulted on a technology upgrade. It seems like the technological collaboration between our two nations goes back a...
Hey, weren't you gonna ask Xavier something about Tatarasuna? Come on, ask.
Oh, I didn't realize you two were here.
Me neither. Paimon doesn't know what's gotten into this one.
What brought this on? Did you just wake up today with a sudden... Sure, go ahead. A kabuki mono? I do know the word. Inazuman for those eccentric types who always go around dressed to the nines. Just the sort... But sadly, I've never had the pleasure, nor have I come across anything... Of course!
Oh, we're leaving?
Oh, you're most welcome. More farewell.
Looks like you got all the information you're looking for. Sure, but what's up with you to keep your smile, Spinal Crocodile? Never, come on, you gotta keep it together. All right.
Hey, it's them!
Akaba, Sawada, you're still here?
Indeed we are. If you have a moment, we'd love for you to...
We have time.
It's the same topic we discussed last...
Still looking for more info about Tatarasuna, huh? Should we do...
Unfortunately, we haven't made any real progress. Huh?
I presume you'll want to read mine as well?
Well, what do you think?
Hey, Traveler. Remember how last time Akaba was saying how he wished he could gather more information about all this?
What did you find out?
It's a long story. Basically, we have...
Wow, so many...
Well, well. So it all comes down to one man's desire for revenge. Huh. Ugh. So there's no ghost story here after all.
This new information actually lends further credence to my hypothesis. Evidently, swordsmiths were seen as having an incredibly prestigious role in society those days.
Yes, okay, point taken, you were right. But that doesn't mean I can't carry on with my novel.
And they're back at it. These guys are really into this.
Oh, so sorry. Look at us, prattling on about our projects and ignoring you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. See?
Keep us in the loop if you find out anything.
Will do. Nahida, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon.
Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting.
The balladeer? It sounds like some kind of... You look troubled. Is there something... Traveler?
Hey, what's wrong? You look...
That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the balladeer...
But how is he even...
As the Traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little different. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to...
So, you believe this person really existed?
Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is. The Traveler comes from a world beyond Tevat. That's why there's no information about him in it. So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from...
Paimon's having a hard time understanding this.
I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatara. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance, the story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. That power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul.
Yeah, it does make sense, but it just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this.
Please wait a moment. I want... Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of What
is it?
A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look.
Is this a fairy tale?
I authored this record myself.
Huh? You wrote a fairy tale?
When combined with the Traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory.
Hold on. So this record's...
Yes. Any information about the Balladeer or the Kabuki Mono in other records will have been changed. But I wrote this story in a way that means it was left intact. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to that, but Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have...
That's incredible!
And sending the Traveler into Irminsul with the Balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information, but if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree, who had been abandoned by the human. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender, and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire... A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can..." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and... The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird who had a broken wing. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten, how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to darkness, I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in this world. And no one can know...
We solved it!
I remember now. This is not just the Balladeer to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. This memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to... I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical stories.
It's hard to believe that this person really existed, let alone that he tried to get rid of us. Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely...
The Balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders, and although he was unsuccessful before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was where your twin first came into this world. We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui, but in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger.
It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon...
This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend, but the question still troubles us. So the answer is not everything. People, when you give someone the truth, to others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is always there, guiding us, and that is what you have been doing all along.
Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat? We could...
Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to...
You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a walk. Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits. It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's up... What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we can get... What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last two fresh sun... Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it? Work's too boring for you? Or has the big city got too many distractions?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting. It can be...
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I act, I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me...
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias, and I promise...
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, I got greedy. Couldn't believe my luck. But I figured you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around, taking in the sights.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get...
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolutely...
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes...
Huh?
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever. Okay, but please let me deliver these goods.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any...
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart.
That's oddly nice of...
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to...
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds...
Thank you. All right, done.
Don't worry about it.
What's wrong? Huh?
Hello. I do apologize for the...
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything.
You say that you are trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who...
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it's... But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past. I don't like to rely on using terms like this often.
Oh, like a past life or something?
Yes, something far more distant than the...
Okay, I have to ask. Oh, you want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous... If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just as difficult to hear, but I'll be able to handle it. Please, tell me.
Is truth something you care a lot?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous... You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit. Sometimes, you have to let parts of yourself go, or...
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome of...
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time.
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet...
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but... Yeah, we were...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk!
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told me...
Yes, it's all true.
Please, I want to see them for myself.
Even though it will cause your presence...
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name.
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's...
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on...
Oh, good point. Giving...
Understood.
Thank you.
This looks like Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth, but be aware that...
Sounds like an immersive experience.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your...
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation. You had a great many memories here.
Is that because this is kind of like...
You could say that, in a sense.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The crystal... No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved, too. No mining... There's someone passed out on... You're awake. What happened? Not a scratch. And these...
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the...
And the rest is history.
In the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately killed by Nagamasa.
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby. Hang in there.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, disappeared. As the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened, but Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life.
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name. Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new joining us.
This is where you were born? It's pretty.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first.
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. He kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then...
But you can't. You promised me.
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together for...
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him. They made a promise.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from Niwa and all the others. You betrayed me too. The voices have gone. It looks like the memory ends here.
Let's keep going.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that can be wielded with an iron will. Or...
Salut F, merci, petit passage, coucou à toi. J'espère que tu vas bien.
Are you trying to win me over?
Long fated rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
Bah, bon courage à toi. Tu vas y arriver.
Well met. Flames, purge! Miscalculated. My duty at an end.
Ah bah c'est bien si tu as presque fini. T'as une vidéo pour faire ce que t'as à faire, c'est ça que t'as dit? Ok. Eh bien bon courage.
This place is dark.
Paimon knows this place. It's the Delusion Factory in Inazuma.
In the original version of events, the Traveler once encountered
such a creepy atmosphere.
Oh merci, je vais pas tarder à arrêter. Je dois pas être loin de la fin de l'histoire, je pense. Bah, bonne soirée à toi également. Bisous.
Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
Huh. What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the Abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh, but of course, even this pales in comparison to being experimented on by the Doctor.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your true feelings to yourself.
Save your breath. I know what I have to do.
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible, and don't let your emotions get in the way.
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate things.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash, must make you want to destroy it completely. Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences now. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little tongue of yours a rest and stop pretending like you're above everyone else. Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire talking to me like that. Who does... Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come. Wanderer,
Yes. Please don't worry about me.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results in your own interests. Isn't that right, witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Let me
Take flight! Ha! Sakura swirl!
Taurus, bring refuge!
Can't run from death.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of... Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they'd think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy...
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon.
Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes.
In your eyes, are there any different...
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost...
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current...
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is...
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to...
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, so I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, you have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here?
It's...
You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled. This is... my...
Is he alright? No way! Hey! Are you done yet?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why... this won't be the end! This is trying my patience. Have you got any more stupid questions? Churn! The wind rises. Upon the gale. Insignificant past! Behold, how amusing. At my command, you shall fall. Bow your head. Feeble human, behold! I'm used to this. Quit following me. Swollen Fury, my endless cycle begins! Behold, insignificant past upon the gale. Swollen Fury, know your place. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too.
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am.
You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Welcome back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a...
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should after learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the Sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't—
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrent in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can— I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Which is why there is emotion. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they?
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts...
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why...
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Paimon still doesn't like you that...
Then I hope we don't see much of each other.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No! Paimon only does nicknames! If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything? Are you sure? Oh, all right.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer. Well,
You mean the Fatui?
the doctor.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. but it won't be immediate. You still need some time.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that even though the events have been erased from the world,
I see. That is...
Huh? But if we do...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. What's that look for? Don't make that face. I know what I'm... That day will come. Alright. We're done here. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fit. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is stoked.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi.
You mean because everyone else in the story?
Yeah! I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace. Life is a story.